Take, a short four-letter word that means so much to so many. But why? Each answer is different based on who you may ask.
Take is sharing your true self.
Take is my chance on stage.
Take is acceptance of who you truly are.
Take is life-changing.
Take is learning to forgive.
Take is loving yourself unconditionally.
Take is sharing your story.
Take is saying, I got this.
Take is an ongoing evolution.
Despite its many interpretations, the meaning of the small word take is rich in history and has an evolution all of its own. 1998 began the starting blocks of a program that connected students on a variety of topics that would help explore college life and offer time to discuss and reflect. Tom PIERNIK, director of the then-called Campus Activities Office, had a vision. Tom had seen a skit performed by students surrounding the issues of alcohol abuse at a National Orientation Directors Association, or NODA, conference and wanted to take it to a much larger level. Tom's idea took shape and he started working on producing various skits with student performers, and through this, a legacy was born. Jamie Yarrow worked with Tom and served as the first student director. The CSUN orientation skits were then entitled Changes and was taken from the thematic song by David Bowie and used to bring the skits together. Orientation leaders were the first ones to see changes, which is a tradition that still continues today. The performance provides an environment for discussion, personal growth, understanding, as well as preparation for what they can expect to see and use to hype up the days of orientation. At this first viewing, the issues surrounding changes were sexism, heterosexism, date rape, able-bodyism, racism, and alcohol. Skits were kept short and to the point, leaving a lot of time for discussion afterwards. During this time, orientation was 2 days overnight, and the performance space for these skits took place in the university's tower. Keeping the idea of using music to underline a point of these skits, People Are People by Depeche Mode was adopted for the second year. Steve Escobar, a student assistant working with Tom PIERNIK, brought an idea of having the students take 2 minutes to think about what they had just seen, or take 2 minutes to just listen. This took the second year of Changes to take 2, People Are People. The song People Are People stayed for several years, and slowly the song became secondary and take was used to identify the group performing. The clapboard and stage directions like freeze were also introduced and have come to be a tradition and icon with the program. Since its beginnings, Take received both national and local recognition. It has been showcased on an article with the LA Times and won the Diversity Award by NACA, National Association for Campus Activities. Along with the recognition, other campuses also started to adopt the Take format for their own orientation programs. As time went on, other issues became more prevalent within the student population. Take 4, for example, saw the introduction of safe sex as a topic to address. In 1992, Take's primary responsibility shifted to the assistant director of the office, which was Cheryl Evans LaGrasse. Cheryl worked with Tom to ensure the vision and integrity of the program was still upheld. Take 5 introduced eating disorders to the list of topics, and the program was additionally showcased to parents in the afternoon. Around this time, the Office of Campus Activities came to be known as the Office of Student Development and International Programs, or SDIP. In 1994, CSUN's campus was severely damaged by the Northridge earthquake. The university tower was removed due to damage, and the Take performances moved to the Satellite Student Union. Orientation was condensed to 1 day, and Shelley Smith-Hadvina became the assistant director of the office, spearheading the Take program. Throughout the following years, many changes were introduced. Each skit now had its own song to assist in breaking up the various topics and identifying each genre of topic. And a special Take retreat was established for cast members.
I'm feeling very excited because I've finally opened up to my Take cast members. Woo, high five! Okay, and I'm really excited because I met new people.
Newspapers were created with personal stories of the cast members, and Take performances were now held in the Plaza del Sol Performance Hall in the University Student Union, where lighting, props, and personal cast statistics were introduced.
I really like the retreat. I mean, just because, I had been involved in other organizations and we've had retreats, but none like that. the things we did, although they were fun at the time, it gave you a chance to get to know people on deeper levels than just what's your name, what's your major, why are you doing this? So for me, I think the retreat makes you believe it more, so that when you believe it more inside, then people will believe it more from your performance.
In 2002, Jamie Rigney became the assistant director, and what once was 5 or more skits turned into 4 overall skits that were a little longer with less time spent on questions and answers. More emphasis was put on facilitations after the take performance during the orientation day. Songs now began and followed all skits, and a dual workbook and magazine with resources were introduced. Learning outcomes became a major part of the programming efforts in shaping the skits for take, and single-person monologues within skits were introduced to help enhance identification between students and the take performance.
I can't eat. I can't sleep. Even the shit doesn't give me the frustrating.
In 2004, Hilda Garcia Putzel became assistant director, and throughout her time, university orientation became known as New Student Orientation. However, the TAKE program continued to anchor its overall day.
Let's see how these same CSUN students deal with their issues on body abuse 1 year later. Light bulbs.
A 1 year later scenario per character called Light Bulbs were introduced and took the place of the Q&A segment. Much more focus was put on the cast's personal development through personal statements.
Even though I've been broken, mistreated, simply just treated like I'm not worth anything, and I found myself in situations where I've made mistakes, in those situations I've also found that I'm worthy. Worthy of something beautiful, worthy of something, whether it comes in the shape of my heart or the color of my creativity.
Personal statements helped in creating more dynamic and emotionally charged skits that the performers could really assist in while facilitating conversations afterwards.
At the end of the performances, when you would have your facilitation and talk to your freshmen, and you'd feel like, oh, we're inspiring them, but in reality at the end, they'd be inspiring you by opening up just as much without any preparation for like 6 months, but they're so comfortable that they just spill their entire, heart to you in front of strangers.
It was such an exciting thing to work with the TAKE cast members. I loved watching them form a bond with one another, and I loved doing the practices with them, the check-ins. I always got a good laugh out of them. Got a little angry too sometimes, but definitely watching them grow throughout that 9-month process was definitely one of the highlights of being TAKE director.
In 2010, Christopher Aston took over as the assistant director and is producing and helping evolve TAKE into what it is today. Throughout the past 5 years, the TAKE program has added fresh new visual elements to their performances. How many losses? In 2009, the first TAKE commercial was produced and shown early in the day of orientation to excite the freshmen for the TAKE 21 performance. In this year, the Prejudice skit also changed formats from a skit to a series of monologues.
As a white person, I struggle with the fact that people think I don't have a struggle.
TAKE 22 introduced video personal statements in 2010 that were pre-recorded and shown after the Prejudice skit of each performance. And in 2011, TAKE 23 was the first to break the audience stage barrier by incorporating the audience space into their performance.
Looking at the lights, camera, action, and how they started it on a field or in a stage on a building that no longer exists in this university, and now putting it on this gigantic stage here, much more grand. I think it's awesome, and I like it. And in 25 more years, let's see where it takes us.
Now in 2013, we find ourselves in the 25th year of a production that started from a vision in one man's mind. The TAKE 25 cast worked extensively over 8 months and told their stories to the largest incoming freshman class CSUN has ever seen. The current cast has also taken the evolution of the TAKE program to the next level by incorporating media visuals on stage to enhance the script.
The fact that I've given them my everything, like my energy, and knowing that because of my hard work, I see change and transformation in them, and knowing that I did that with, of course, the help of other staff members and faculty and whatnot. But knowing that I played a very huge role in 9 people's lives is like very touching.
It's my story, her story, his story. Some years I'm doing hers, she's doing mine, I'm doing his, he's doing hers. So it's like I really have to take their heart and soul, put it into my body and walk a mile in their shoes. And it feels like a little intimidating because it's like you want to do it justice, but that right there, not just the writing of a script or going through the whole production, but really just realizing you're not alone.
Yo quiero saber cómo se siente vivir en un mundo sin racismo.
Despite its transformations, the root of the TAKE program has remained constant. Each year, a group of students come together and perform their own life experiences, as well as address the topics and concerns CSUN students are facing. It's no surprise that a program such as TAKE has a distinct uniqueness and impacts, as well as informs, the lives of students seeing or participating in it. The lessons learned and the candid encounters cast members experience while in TAKE help shape their college experience.
I would say this has definitely been the most memorable experience, from beginning to end. The meetings where we wanted to kill each other and the meetings that, was just flooding in tears, to pats on the back, like we did this. That's a good feeling. You don't know these people, the freshmen, you see hundreds, and you impact them in a way that you would never think.
But not only has TAKE been a huge factor in the lives of cast members during college, it has also been something useful to their lives post-grad as well.
I work in student affairs at Cal State San Bernardino, and so it's interesting because I work with students on a daily basis, and so it made me curious to see, like, every year the issues change, every student has different issues, and so I think it helps me in terms of my framework when I work with them daily.
A million different emotions are going to fill a student's head when they see TAKE for the first time, just as it has for years now. Enjoyment, laughter, crying, frustration, anger, but it's all to make you think. Whether it's TAKE 2 minutes or TAKE an entire semester, TAKE has and will continue to challenge a student's life as a new college student in how a lot is about to change. Those changes will continue to give new inspiration, new perspective, new direction, and new life to perhaps 25 more years of TAKE.